with 779 off grid. Sorry for the delay in getting you an update on what's going on the acreage. So I thought what I'll do today is I'm just going to give you a tour around the perimeter of the acreage and show you some of the highlights and lowlights, and then let you know what's going on along the way. This is a game trail that is right alongside the ravine that, you know, when we first bought the property, we started using this trail because it works out really good to get down to the level building spot. Tough to see down there, but yeah, this is the ravine down there. And so yeah, if you take this path, it brings you up to the road, and it kind of parallels my driveway, and it's somewhat maintained, but still a little bit rugged. So we're walking up right now and we're heading towards the road. Noticing a lot of mushrooms out here right now, and like for example, look at that. I would really like to know more about mushrooms and if they're edible or not. If you do know any more about mushrooms, I'd be happy to chat with you about it and maybe put something in the comments. We've also got mushrooms, and we have these, it's like a puff ball. It's about the size of a volleyball, and it's kind of looks like a volleyball. At first we thought it was a rock. We could see it from across the ravine, and then when we walked up to it, we could see that it was some kind of fungi. This is another shot of the ravine. This is kind of where we've been talking about maybe putting a zip line from. So up on top of the other ridge, going down to where we have our camper right now, where we're living. But either that, or we could just use it for maybe sledding or something in the winter. So yeah, a little bit higher up here, you can kind of see the highway. And one of the projects that I've done is I put some gates up there. The kind of not a funny story, but an interesting story is I wasn't going to put up gates, and what happened was a kind of a first big issue that we had out here, because I'm going to say over the last month we've had, well, it started off with a trailer being stolen where that Ford truck is. That truck doesn't belong to me. That's somebody that's working here and putting in the screw piles right now. It started out with my trailer being stolen from the top here. Broad daylight, somebody just backed up to it and took it away. Didn't think for in a million years somebody would be that brazen to steal right from the top of my driveway. It was only up there for a few hours. But anyhow, that started. Then the rain started, and man, did we get a lot of rain. It delayed me getting some groundwork done. It also delayed a little bit the piles getting in because of some issues there, and we got all of the rain and some heavy traffic in the driveway made it so that we couldn't really get in there. Yeah, a bunch of bad stuff happened in the last little while. It's getting better. I feel like we're on the upswing now. And so today, one of the things that is kind of on the upswing is that we're actually getting our screw piles put in. And so that's going to be the base for our house. And I'll probably end up showing you how that process goes, maybe talk about that a little bit. But this is down in the ravine here. There is water that stays down here, not a ton. When we were getting those rains, the water level went up probably, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 feet. And but when it stops, like when the rain stops, then the water recedes. It's like so funny. It's almost like a rainforest down here. It's so lush, and we've been seeing quite a few animals, and I'll pop a couple of them up here in the video. we've seen quite a few deer, and we have well, now we have a driveway cam because we want to know who's at the driveway after our trailer got stolen. And just about every night we get a deer that pops in there. The other night we had a doe with 2 fawns, and then before that we had a really nice sized buck. So I don't know that you can see how steep this is. I want to say it's almost a 45-degree angle, so pretty steep. I'm going to go to the top and get a better view up there. Lots of birch trees on the property. Lots of old birch trees on the property. And these berries, there's a lot of these berries that are coming up. I think they're gooseberries, and I don't know if they're edible. Again, like I said, if you know, let me know. Yeah, so this is a little bit. So this is, we were just walking up there, and we walked all the way around and came over here on the other side. So we're on the east side of the ravine now. So I'm just gonna go up higher here, and then I can kind of give you an idea of where this, what's on the perimeter of the property. We really like it out here, other than the challenges we've had. I feel like haven't been challenged like that in many, many years. So yeah, this is the top of our property. We don't own this field. There's another couple that we haven't met yet that owns up here. But nice view from our house. When the house is built, we'll be able to see this from our top floor. We'll just head back down. Yeah, so kind of see this how steep this ravine is. Pretty steep. Like, I think it would be good for sledding in the winter. Probably have to clear a couple stumps out of the way, but. And a friend of mine keeps telling me that we need to put a zip line in here. There's a nice trail, and I don't know if this was at one time for cattle or if it is an actual animal trail, but you can see it's pretty beat down and decent to walk on. It's fairly flat. So you can see there, we're across the ravine. That's the motorhome. The first motorhome that I gave the video of we don't have it anymore. We sold it. It was a really good motorhome, but it didn't have some of the features that we liked after we lived in it for a while. It was probably okay for weekend use, but not great for long-term use. Yeah, you can see this puffball. Look how big that thing is. Look at there's my hand in front of it. It's huge. It's almost like a rubbery texture or like a latex texture. Almost looks like a brain. Here's another one. So if anybody knows about those, I'd be happy to learn about them. I don't know. They say that they're edible, but I'm always leery of trying mushrooms. I feel like I don't know if the upside outweighs the downside if they're not edible. All right, so yeah, we have a little seating area out here. We used to anyways. Monica had set up some stuff here that, you know, like to attract birds and things like that, which we do have a lot of. One night we were sitting outside and we had this app on our phone and we had something like 15 different birds here. Here's another mushroom. So that's kind of nice. And we have lots of squirrels, which are pretty entertaining actually. A friend of ours put this beehive out here. which is really good. They're quite active, and we see them on both sides of the ravine, which is kind of neat. Yeah, so we're just going to walk down the trail here a little bit more, and then I'll finish up the tour with the chickens. Yeah, this is just the top of our property. So that's about half. That's like the south half of our property. The north half is bordered by like a guy has some horses or whatever, and we don't hear anybody out here. The only thing we really hear out here is the highway. Okay, so I'm gonna cross back over. I'll show you our chickens, and then a quick shot of the screw piles going in if they're working on them right now. I think they might be breaking for lunch. And then we'll finish up. I'll post a few videos or a few pictures of everything else that's been going on. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much going on just because of the rain and a few setbacks that we had. One of the major ones that I haven't said anything yet is our dog, Annie, died in a tragic accident right down in here. She ran into a stick and it killed her, which was pretty sad. That really took the wind out of our sails. So we're dealing with that. That's been pretty tough. And so this is Monica's garden. I think it looks really good. I think we are going to have to do something to condition the soil because I don't know that we have the right nutrients in there. So we'll have to figure that out. And here's our chickens. 4 eggs a day, which is great. We have to eat more eggs. Yeah. Oh, and there's one right there. Yeah. So they're installing the piles here. So what they do is they have this excavator with a special attachment on the back of it, or on the boom. And not only does it drive it in, but it will measure the amount of torque that it takes to go in the ground. And that torque has to correspond with what the engineer requires or requests for it to have. One of the issues that we're having is some of them are not reaching that required torque. So that what they have to do is keep adding on extensions until they hit that required torque. But it is what it is. One of the lessons I'm learning out here is everything costs more than you expect. So if you get an estimate for something, even if you get somebody out here, if you're doing groundwork or you're doing some kind of like even those piles, there's things that nobody knows. And this guy was actually really good, and that's why I chose him to do the job for me. But he you know, like I didn't expect that we'd have to put on so many extensions and things like that. And so live and learn. I don't know if I say if I did it again. I don't know if I would do it again at this point, but if I did it again, definitely would factor in some of those additional costs that I didn't think of. But anyhow, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching.